I want to talk about asset checks, specifically asset checks for attorneys who handle personal injury cases, specifically car accidents. Let's get going. So when might an asset investigation be required when your client is involved in an auto accident? Maybe it's before the police report has been issued and you want to identify and profile the responsible parties because you know the injuries to your client are severe. You want to know who the driver is, the owner is, the adverse party, so you get a sense of who you're dealing with. Or maybe it's when the accident that caused the loss is not covered by insurance. Another example might be when, before you file that lawsuit and you want to understand if there's assets out there to satisfy the injuries and exposure created by the accident. In many cases, defendants and parties involved must provide an asset declaration. If you believe the asset declaration provided by the adverse party is not accurate, an asset investigation would be the next step. Another example when an asset check investigation might be necessary is when the damages expected far exceed the insurance policy limits. Of course, after you get a settlement offer from the insurance company and before you accept that settlement offer are other times to conduct an asset investigation. But why would you conduct the asset investigation? What are your duties as an attorney to verify assets? Is malpractice a concern? My research shows that a failure by an attorney to inform a client at least of their right to search for and pursue other assets could lead to a potential malpractice exposure. An asset investigation should be, at the very least, offered to the client, and if the client refuses, then the attorney has still performed their due diligence. So, before you take that settlement offer, you want to know if there's assets beyond policy limits, advise those clients. The next step is, how do you do that? Do you do it yourself? Do you hire an investigator? There are many different options, but I think it's important that you understand what it is to be looking for as you conduct that asset investigation. First off, verifying ownership of the vehicle or vehicles involved in the accident is priority number one, so you can see if there's other culpable parties to go after. You want to look for tangible assets like real property, real estate, vehicles, motorhomes, boats, and planes. If there's property ownership, you want to look to document the ownership to see if there's transfers to avoid detection, any fraudulent conveyance. You're also going to look to see if the parties involved own any businesses, if they're gainfully employed or not. You also want to look for liabilities, any evidence of litigation, bankruptcies, judgments, liens, anything that impacts their ability to pay, you want to be aware of. If you have any further questions about how to conduct an asset investigation, when to conduct an investigation, and what the report looks like, please let me know in the comments. Thanks.